Welcome to Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers, presented by 8th and Walton, the premier destination for supplier development, and sponsored in part by Dun & Bradstreet Credibility Corp., the leading provider of credit and credibility solutions for businesses. We have 3 segments for you today, all focused on helping suppliers become better partners to Walmart and Sam's Club. Our first feature is a digital strategy discussion with Colin Condrey of Blue Zoo Creative. Then we meet Rosie and Rebecca Hayden of Hayden Interactive for 6 social media mistakes suppliers make.
Here with me today is Colin Condrey, co-founder of Blue Zoo Creative, to discuss how to get the most out of your online presence. Colin, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what Blue Zoo does and a little bit about your background.
Well, we're a web design and web development company, so we help small businesses, suppliers, and supplier support get online. We also help them with set up their branding, and once their site is set up, we can help them out with search engine optimization, social media, and all the other things that you need to do to get noticed.
Got it. And you come from that, from a background as being a supplier and understanding of retail.
Right. So I was a web developer for a while, but then I was also a business analyst for 3M for a while, and a category manager over at Tyson Foods.
Fantastic, fantastic. It's great perspective. So as a supplier thinks about how to refresh their existing website and how to really get the most out of their online presence, what would you recommend? How do you approach that?
Well, the first thing we do is we try to figure out what they're trying to accomplish, what the goals are, and we work on the design from there. I know I work with a very talented designer, and one of the things that he's very interested in is making the design support the goals. So he will set up the design so it makes your eye flow toward where the goals are at.
To try to get the most out of the messaging.
To try to get the most out of the messaging. Right.
So for example, if a supplier is really trying to capture the attention of a Walmart buyer, what would you do to kind of optimize that sort of an experience? What kind of process would you go through?
Typically, we have a process where we collect a lot of the information from the supplier at the beginning, where again we hone in on what the supplier wants and how they are going to take advantage of the website.
And then do you guys help with the analytics as well? Do you help them get the most out of the backside of the operation, so to speak?
Yes, we hook analytics into every part that we can hook analytics into. All of our websites have at least Google Analytics on them, so we can see where people are coming from, what happens when they get to the website, what is the source of the traffic. Is it search? Is it social? Is it email? And then we can make recommendations based on that. And we can also do testing. So if you are trying to, get more people to go to a specific page on the site, we can reorder, for example, the way the menu is set up, so it tries to drive people there.
Improve the navigation and
Improve the navigation, even doing simple things like changing the colors of buttons.
Right.
That can affect how people react and convert on your site.
You guys typically do a lot of A/B testing?
We try to do as much A/B testing as we can, and typically it's pretty straightforward to do that with a lot of the tools that are coming out nowadays.
Got it. Very interesting stuff. So as you think about what makes it easy for a supplier to manage, do you do something that will allow them to have a less difficult time with content uploading and that sort of thing?
Right. We typically use a content management system called WordPress. It's a very common site. There are millions and millions of installations of them out there. It's got a very large support community, so there's thousands of people developing for the platform. So there's typically lots of options out there. One reason that we did pick WordPress is because we think it's easy for people who use WordPress to go in and make changes to almost all parts of the site.
Sure.
And we typically include training when we set that up, so you're not lost. And we include a series of video manuals. They're typically 1 to 3 minute videos that show you how to do all the things like make a post, add an image, so you're not reliant on us. You can concentrate on the content that you're putting together, and then we can concentrate on things like making your site run better, or adding new features, or improving the design.
Got it. As you think about how to integrate the mobile aspect, what's your thoughts versus a native mobile app, something that's going to be native to iOS or one of the other operating systems, versus responsive and mobile ready? How do those things play out? What kind of decision criteria would you go through?
Well, the nice thing about having a mobile app is that you have more access to all the features of your smartphone or
push
device.
Notifications and that
push
sort of
notification, GPS, using the camera. However, if you do have an app, then what you're doing is you're making your customers do extra work.
Right.
So they've got to go to the store and download it and install it and sign in and all that.
Right.
However, with a mobile website, it's a lot easier for your customers to find you. I mean, how many times have you used your smartphone to Google something or use Siri?
Sure.
And typically, if you're searching for somebody specific, one of the things you're going to find is your website. And once they get to your website has to be able to be displayed on that particular device, whether it's a phone, a tablet, or a desktop.
So a lot of discussion these days about wearables, and that seems like there's a whole nother digital online marketing aspect associated with that. Where do you see that going? Well, particularly as it relates to how a supplier or brand might use it.
Right. Well, again, Apple's coming out with their iWatch, and people are very excited about that, and they're very interested to see what kind of features are on there. But I see it as it's another screen for people to be looking at during the day. And it's a little bit more convenient than pulling out your smartphone. It's always there on your wrist. And so you've got another channel to communicate whatever your message is that you want to get out.
It's going to be interesting to see if you can get really compelling ads on that really small footprint screen.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool. Thanks for coming in today, Collins. Fantastic insights, giving us a really good view of digital online presence. The remainder of Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers will return shortly.
GigWalk is transforming how work gets done. As the leading mobile workforce management platform, GigWalk provides companies with mobile tools and a data-driven approach to improving business efficiency. Leading brands and retailers use GigWalk to manage their field teams and to mobilize 750,000 GigWalkers to collect data intelligence about their business and brands. Are the shelves stocked? Are my products priced competitively? Are the correct promotions in place? Visit us at gigwalk.com to learn more. GigWalk, make work better.
Introducing MV Retail, the smart device-driven team management software. Using your existing staff and smart devices, MV Retail changes the game by leveraging the full power of mobile team management, all while consolidating multiple management systems into a comprehensive software solution for your business. Whether you are a selling, merchandising, training or service organization, MV Retail has you covered, so don't delay. Contact MV Retail today to set up a free trial.
Retail Solutions is the market leader helping advance reporting and analytics with Walmart suppliers around the globe. We manage the data for you, automate data integration, attribution, and reports, and then help you focus on activities that will drive the most value. To do this, RSI works with you to perform a business value assessment to identify the largest value opportunities in your business. If improving results in sales through better insights and execution and efficiencies are important to you, contact RSI today.
8th and Walton can help you become a smarter supplier with webinars and classes, services like custom training, consulting, HR solutions, and staffing. Visit www.8thandwalton.com to find out how you can become a better partner to Walmart. Sales Analysts. Build your skills fast with 8th and Walton's core classes. Order them together and save 10%. Go to 8thandwalton.com/classes now.
Rebecca Hayden and Rosie Hayden from Hayden Interactive join us today with 6 mistakes suppliers make with social media. Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad to have you here today. So what are the mistakes that CPG companies make in reference to social media?
I think one of the first ones is thinking that social media is one size fits all. You've read that Facebook is no longer good for small business, or that people only want to see videos, or whatever it is.
Okay.
You can't assume that any of those things are going to be true for your company, because it depends on your product, your particular market, the resources that you have available, and every company needs to have its own strategy when it approaches social media.
Okay, strategy, and that's what we've talked about, right? We've talked about the strategy. So one size fits all, not the right decision.
Not at all.
Okay, what else?
Also thinking that you can control the conversations that are going on for your or about your company in social media.
Well, okay, what does that mean though? Give an example of that.
Well, a lot of times people, or not even people, companies rather, will put something out there, like any kind of post. They're really excited about it, they throw it out there, and then the very first comment is something nasty. You know, like somebody says, well, I'd really like it if you just take care of your customers, or whatever it may be, just something mean.
Okay.
And that's what happens in social media. Sometimes people get a little catty, you know. And then the company then responds by saying, okay, well, forget it. Let's just not even
and they draw back.
participate.
That's true.
I'm not even going to do it because they had this one little bitty comment, and they get upset about it because they're trying to control what everybody says. Or they'll come in and try to respond to it and then come across as very defensive. You know, like you'll go into like a little bit of a bickering session with this person because you're like, well, let me fix it for you, and they're just mad. You know, it may not even be something.
So you guys are kind of like counselors, I suppose, with some of these suppliers, aren't you? Like going, it's okay, things are fine, everything's okay, it's not the end of the world.
Sometimes. You know, we recently saw a case where someone had just sort of jumped into a social media account with a rant, and and we did help the company come up with a compassionate, positive response rather than a defensive one. And the ranter came back and removed their comment and replaced it with thank you. You know, and that's not the first time that we've seen that happen. But I think the problem with trying to control the conversation is that brands never have been able to control the conversation.
No, they really haven't, have they?
You know, social media just gives you the illusion that you can, compared with people, what they're saying about your brand at the church supper or whatever. You know?
Right. So what other mistakes do suppliers make?
One of the things is failing to track results. You can't tell what's working for you and improve it without tracking it pretty accurately. Your goal is always to do more of what works well for you and less of what doesn't, so you have to know.
And is that a moving target? I mean, as you get into a social media campaign, does that change? Do some of those things move around?
It certainly can. I mean, it really depends on your product, and it depends on your audience, I would say. In some cases, with products, the target market may be from 25 to 28 or something. I mean, I know it's really small, but that always moves. So the new generation coming into that, your product hasn't changed, but your audience is changing because there are people who were younger 3 years ago and now here.
May change.
You know what I mean? And then the people who you were talking to are 30 years older, and they no longer apply to what you're doing, no longer applies to what is normal for them.
But yet you still want to communicate with them on both ends, so you have to kind of change the platform or the way in which you...
In that example, we have one client where their audience, when we look and see who their visitors are, they have both men and women, more women, but some men, and the age range is from about 25 to 55. But if we look at who shares their posts, then it's women in their 20s, like 95%. So in that case, it isn't that the product has changed or that the people using it have changed, but that supplier's strategy needs to change because of the additional data we've gotten.
Yeah, that's great. So what other mistakes do suppliers make?
I think also sometimes suppliers don't see the path to purchase, the connection with social media, because it's not direct. It's not like somebody reads your Facebook post and they immediately rush over and buy your product.
Or even bought a case. Like, people want that to see. They want to see that. You know, they want to see lots of it all at once.
That's right.
But a lot of times it's more about developing the relationship or even strengthening your online presence with the search engine, for example, so that you come up more when people are searching. And I think that a lot of suppliers are just not aware of the technology involved in that, or don't fully understand the path to purchase, which nowadays does include online interactions and that kind of online community, as well as what you're doing when you're in the store.
Well, so there are a lot of dangers that suppliers can run into, and so they have to be careful once they get into social media, and really having someone kind of direct that campaign for them and really help guide them through that is helpful, isn't it?
I think it is. We have access to a lot more data.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one size fits all. Every supplier needs their own strategy, but, you know, we can see what has happened for a whole lot of suppliers first, and so that gives us a little bit of an edge on that.
Yeah. Well, Rebecca and Rosie, thank you both so much for coming in today. We really appreciate it, and I know the suppliers will as well. We'll be right back with Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers.
For investors that are nearing retirement, the rule of 100 illustrates that you may need to reduce your risk and protect your nest egg. As you make these adjustments, do you think it's possible to make money in any market? Curious? Call Mach 1 Financial today for clarity regarding your retirement.
We're here today with Henry Ho from Field Agent. Welcome, Henry.
Good to be here, Andy.
Yeah. So the Walmart Supplier Solution Summit just finished up. We had about 150 suppliers come through. What was your role in that, and what was your seminar about?
We spoke about mobile research at the summit. And mobile research comes in three main buckets: in-store conditions research, in-store shopper research, and at-home ethnography research.
So tell me a little bit more about that, the methodologies and how they've changed. What's new and traditional, what's kind of the difference?
One of the things that we wanted to emphasize during the summit was that the methodologies and the rigor of research is the same with mobile research. Mm-hmm. What's different is technology has come and changed the game for us. And so, for example, in traditional research, you have shop-alongs, you have focus groups, and you have in-home studies.
Okay.
With mobile research, we now have what we call shopper iMovies and mobile chats and at-home ethnographies.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit more about like a national sample. How are you doing national samples now?
You know, in the past, suppliers who wanted to get in stores and talk to 500 or 1,000 shoppers, that was a difficult thing to do. Now with the mobile technology, that's completely freed it up for suppliers to get out and talk to Walmart shoppers in their specific locations where they're shopping.
Well, I guess it's also changed being able to look at demographics as well.
Absolutely. We gave an example during this summit where we focused on the Hispanic shopper. We said, hey, if you wanted to drill down and understand Hispanic shoppers, we can get to that and their income, their family makeup, and so forth, and we could get to the key markets where Hispanics live and work and play.
Yeah.
That was very, very helpful for, I think, the folks at the summit.
Well, Henry, it sounds like mobile research is growing a lot and changing a lot. And if people want to learn more about this, can they contact you, or how do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. We will certainly would love to help people with mobile research.
Great. Thank you so much for coming in today.
We all have large libraries of data. Unfortunately, most companies never read what is in their library, but instead settle for top-line reporting. Beyond software that just automates, when we open our minds to being curious and creative with data, we discover the insights that build into remarkable ideas which deliver business growth. Here at the Harvest Group, we do just that. Open up your rich consumption data into a set of priceless ideas that grow the business. Are you ready to unlock the ideas buried in your data? Let the Harvest Group take a look at your business.
Bentonville Plaza, across the street from the Walmart home office. The best office location offers proximity and services like no other business complex in the area. Call 479-200-1112 today.
My name's Loria Oliver, and welcome to Retail Her. Today, I'm talking to Katia Colson of 8th and Walton. Hi, Katia.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So I know, like a lot of us, including myself, you're not from Arkansas. Where were you born, and how did you end up in Arkansas?
Well, my parents are of Eastern European descent, and I came as an exchange student almost 20 years ago, and went to college and then graduate school and then stayed.
Wow. So I know now you're working with 8th and Walton. Tell me a little bit about the work you're doing with them.
Well, I've known of 8th and Walton for almost a decade now, but I've been fortunate enough to have an opportunity and work with them for the past few months, and mainly working on new content and new material, and to educate and consult suppliers of all sizes.
So I know that you used to work for Walmart about 15 years ago. Do you remember what your interview was like? What was that process all about?
It was my first professional interview, and it was exciting and scary at the same time.
Right.
It was a panel of people, but it was pretty quick and painless because the team I was interviewing for was new. So it fortunately went very well.
Oh, good. That's exciting. I know that you also worked on the joint business plan. Can you explain it briefly and tell us a little bit more about what that's like?
Yes, joint business planning, it's a process that touches every supplier working with any retailer, especially with Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something where you get a chance to collaborate and actually build out the strategies in order to achieve your goal with that retailer. So it's a great way to secure the relationship and the growth you want.
Good. Okay, so you and I have talked before this, and I know that you always wanted to be on the supplier side after you left Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
What attracted you most about working for a supplier?
I think it was the ownership of the product
Mm-hmm.
and something to be proud of, being part of the manufacturer versus just a retailer.
Right.
Whether it's an iconic brand or a product that people have experienced or eaten for decades, to bring that to their table today, that satisfaction.
Yeah, that is exciting to be a part of it.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
So I know a supplier may be watching right now that's struggling on meeting quarterly sales goals. What advice would you give them?
Well, number one would be planning.
Mm-hmm.
Planning and collaborating with the retailer. Open dialogue, building the strategies and the tactics in order to get to where you want to get, and then monitoring that and reviewing your progress throughout the year.
How can a supplier think on more of a global level if they're struggling with that?
It's a great question. It's first and foremost, as a supplier, you probably have to review and account for all of your capabilities and resources first. And then partnering up with the retailer like Walmart would be a great opportunity to cross that border internationally.
Yeah, definitely. And today, if a supplier is watching and they want to increase their business, what are 2 or 3 ways that they can do that?
Well, number one, I would say would be people,
Mm-hmm.
recruiting and sustaining the best talent. With that comes continuous training
Right.
and development of those people. And Ethan Walton is a great example of a company that does just that. Ultimately, their mission is to help suppliers to be better and develop their people to be better partners with Walmart.
Exactly.
The other advice would be to reinvest in your brands and your research and development.
I love that. That's a definitely tweetable moment. Reinvest in your brand. Yes.
Yes.
So our final question here, and one of my favorite on Retail Her, is that we have a beautiful picture of you as a young woman.
No.
Looking back on that picture today and talking to that young girl today, what advice would you give her on how to navigate this life?
Listen to your mother.
I like that one.
Yes, and yes, because she's always right,
Yes.
and she will lead the way.
Yes, I like that. Thank you so much for being here today, Katya.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it was awesome. Don't go anywhere. Saturday morning meeting for suppliers. We'll be right back. Retail Her was created to honor and highlight the achievements of women in the retail industry. If you'd like to attend an event with a similar mission, April 14th and 15th is the 2015 Women in Technology Conference with featured speakers Karen Ann Terrell, Executive Vice President at Walmart, Kay Palmer, Executive Vice President at J.B. Hunt, and Shelly Simpson, Chief Marketing Officer at J.B. Hunt. Go to this website to register or for more information.
Bentonville Commerce, less than 1 mile from the Walmart home office. You'll love the convenience, amenities, and customized options Bentonville Commerce offers. For more information or a tour, call 479-200-1112 today.
Ethan Walton can help you become a smarter supplier with webinars and classes, services like custom training, consulting, HR solutions, and staffing. Visit www.ethanwalton.com to find out how you can become a better partner to Walmart. Sales Analysts. Build your skills fast with Ethan Walton's core classes. Order them together and save 10%. Go to ethanwalton.com/classes now.
Retail Solutions is the market leader helping advance reporting and analytics with Walmart suppliers around the globe. We manage the data for you, automate data integration, attribution, and reports, and then help you focus on activities that will drive the most value. To do this, RSI works with you to perform a business value assessment to identify the largest value opportunities in your business. If improving results in sales through better insights and execution and efficiencies are important to you, contact RSI today.
Are you a single parent struggling to meet your family's needs? Single Parent Scholarship Fund is here to help. Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas helps hundreds of single parents get an education. By providing scholarships and support, a brighter future is right around the corner for you and your family.
We should know, in 2007, I graduated with my bachelor's degree in organizational management. Single Parent Scholarship Fund helped make my dream a reality. My kids are so proud of me, and now they declare themselves as college-bound.
Our thanks to all of today's guests. In the upcoming weeks, we'll get an update of what's going on in Northwest Arkansas from its council's CEO, Mike Malone. And in our April special, we'll meet with sustainability experts to discuss how CPGs are going green and the significance of sustainability to today's supplier. I'm Andy Shook, and from all of us at Saturday Morning Meeting for Suppliers, thanks for watching.
I walk in every day and I just take a deep breath and I'm like, I can't believe where it's gone, where it's come to. Blood, sweat, and tears, and then some. Everything to build the company where it's at. I'm Billy Westbrook, and Scrub Blade is an idea I had. I wondered, why don't wiper blades scrub your windshield? If they're going back and forth, why don't they scrub the windshield while they're doing it? You know, I was making barely any money to survive. I was living on an air mattress at a friend's house, completely stripped down to nothing. It's just me. I was like, I'm going to give this 100% and see what happens with it. And that was in 2006. It's 2014 now, and I've never stopped. In the journey of Scrub Blade, we had a huge opportunity to do a big test with Walmart. And if I would have worked all those 8 years and neglected my business credit, I wouldn't have had the biggest opportunity of our journey. Dun & Bradstreet Credibility is a huge partnership for Scrub Blade. They share the knowledge really well, go through your credit rating with you and explain what this means and what that means. We're starting a big test with AutoZone, and I mean, they're the largest automotive retailer in the world. It's going to take our company to the next level and beyond. What drives me, what keeps me going, is my family. Yeah. My job is to take care of my family, and it gives me a lot of pride to know that I can do that. And at the same instance, Dun & Bradstreet Credibility is taking care of me, or my entity, Scrub Blade. I mean, it's still a small company, but big in my eyes. We want to have fun with it. We want to bring people in along for the journey. You know, life's a journey. Get a clearer view. That's what Scrub Blade's tagline is, and it means everything.